is an interesting matchup. Both of these players are actually in the last tournament, the fall open mode tournament, and they both did pretty well for themselves, actually. I know Makinx at least made it to groups.
Yeah, KillerApp is a pretty well-rounded racer, I would say, as well, so this should be a really good race.
Cool. So we get a bit of a route divergence right here at the beginning. Makinx is going with my preferred route, the Uncle route, whereas KillerApp is deciding to go directly into the Houlihan room.
Both these strategies have their merits. Houlihan is a bit more consistent, I would say, but the Uncle route's a bit faster if you can get a good tree pull or find a large bomb drop, for example.
Yeah. I mean, any route, within reason is reasonable in this mode.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, KillerApp's going to have a nice 225 rupee advantage in addition to the money he's already found, whereas Makinx gets himself a red stick.
Yeah, that boomerang. Well, boomerangs early can be pretty useful depending on the items you find, so maybe that won't be a total dud.
Yeah, especially if we need to go into the castle without anything else to defend ourselves. Looks like KillerApp is going to be doing the same thing after Houlihan, just going directly to the Uncle, whereas Makinx is making his way to Kakariko, probably via the forest.
Yeah, most likely you'll want to try and get as many tree pulls as you can along the way. And this will give him access to 2 crabs as well, which can have really nice items.
Let's see what our bush prize is. Oh, full magic. That's
Ooh.
not bad, actually.
Yeah, that's actually... the first one's always the best one, because then you're set no matter what you find.
Yeah. Didn't get a glimpse of what was in the ledge there.
Oh, I'm gonna ruin your mood. It's just a piece of heart, so...
Dang.
nothing to get excited about.
Yeah, the worst is when it's a big key or even a small key.
Yeah, that always weighs on your mind. KillerApp coming down here for the south route, getting this 50-50 bomb. Very economical strategy.
Yeah, I like to consider this the pessimistic route, because you're gonna get an assured bomb instead of just hoping for one. But Makinx, the optimism pays off today.
Yeah, he does get his 3 bombs. KillerApp seeing 300 rupees in the race game. I would grab that if I were him.
Yeah, I think both of these players might grab it, honestly.
Yeah. It's really hard to pass up that 300 this early, because who knows when Zora's going to be required.
It is interesting. KillerApp does have quite a bit of money, but Makinx might not actually find enough to appease the bottle vendor.
Yeah, he might not. He might have to come back for that if he goes to the race game. We'll see, though. There's quite a few locations prior to that he can get lucky on, so...
Yeah, and you're assured about 60 rupees, I think? So I think all it takes is a single big 20.
Ooh, I believe that would say small key on the library.
And we got a key for Misery Mire, which is mostly useless. Key for Palace of Darkness, which there's 6 of them.
The map for Hyrule Castle, which is 100% useless in every scenario.
Yeah. Well, unless you don't know your way around the castle.
Well, you're a brave person to do that if you're jumping into a random tournament.
Yeah. Get
Bombos.
a Bombos medallion here in the back of the Blinds Hut. So that's going to be helpful either to get into one of the 2 dungeons that explicitly require it, or maybe even Ice Palace.
And I believe this is the version of the logic where you don't actually need a sword to use Bombos in Ice Palace, but the required stuff.
I think that's just for swordless mode.
Oh, is it? Oh, well.
So Makinx does get some money, finally. Does get a cane. So that's cool.
Cane of Samaria and a map to Skull Woods. That's... Some expensive bombs the bottle vendor today. KillerApp throwing the bomb in the wrong direction.
It's better than accidentally opening the chest before you throw the bomb, because a lot of the times when you do that, like, it'll just bounce off of the empty chest for some reason.
And then you bombed yourself, you accomplished nothing. It's not what you want to do.
Yep. Makinx
We did
does
not find a
not
bottle.
have a bottle. I was a bit confused there.
Did we miss something? Okay, well, I believe we've seen the entirety of Kakariko so far, and not a whole lot of interest aside from the King of Samaria and maybe Bombos.
Yeah, we still got the Hyrule Castle front side. We got the South Shore, Agina's Cave, and Sahasrara's Hut and Eastern Palace.
Still a few things to check in the Light World. All could have something amazing.
So that small key, one of the interesting things about Keysanity, with all the small keys just out in the world, or maybe even in dungeons that they're not even associated with, is the fact that it really recontextualizes the importance of like certain dungeons. For instance, Swamp Palace is blocked by a single key. Like, you can access one chest in Swamp Palace without the small key. Palace of Darkness, on the other hand, has a whopping 6 keys, as I said before. But if you know like the correct glitches and stuff, and you can manage to avoid opening certain doors, you can get through that entire dungeon and full clear it of items only using 4 of them. So even if that is like something for like Palace of Darkness, it's entirely possible our runners could skip it.
Yes, this is. There's a few useless keys as well for dungeons. For example, Skull Woods and Misery Mire. Those dungeons don't actually require any random small keys in the wilderness if you know how to route it correctly. But it could also be a very important small key, which is more exciting.
Yeah. I don't think the small keys for Misery Mire, or at least I don't think the small key for Misery Mire itself is useless, because I believe, the dungeon still requires you to have keys. I mean, the dungeon logic still requires you to have keys.
Speaking of Misery Mire, that is our green pen for the day.
And we get a nice power glove. It's a pretty interesting find. KillerApp is opting to not even go into Eastern Palace, which is interesting. He's gonna check the backside of Escape. I don't know if I agree with this play. I just want to get Eastern Palace out of the way, even if you don't have the big key for it.
Yeah, it's understandable. I do also support doing the early Eastern dives if you're over there. I guess he's prioritizing these 3 items here more than that.
Makinx making great use of this Cane of Samaria here in the mini Moldorm Cave. I always love seeing the interesting strats you can do with this cane.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of my favorite items just for all the weird edge case uses.
Oh! We just got a small key for the sewers, and along with the Moon Pearl.
Vanilla sewer key, really interesting. But we did get the Moon Pearl as well, as you said,
Yeah.
so...
I mean, I like the vanilla. Like, I think the highlight there is a vanilla sewer key,
Of course.
which is pretty much useless if you have the gloves, but
Yeah.
if KillerApp wanted to, he could have gone back and backtracked through the dark sewers and gotten the dark chest there.
I'm not a fan of that today, unfortunately. We have Makinx coming up on the Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, this is another location that, in like something like standard or open mode, you see a lot of runners skip it, but I don't think anybody in the right mind would skip this location, Keysanity. Although today, you're not going to get burned too much.
Yeah, I mean, a map's useful. I mean, especially early. that information can be very helpful.
So honestly, it's starting to look like, I mean, we got the Moon Pearl, which is nice, but it's starting to look like either Mitts or Hammer inside Eastern Palace. I think the only other location we haven't seen is Agina's Cave, which...
Agina's Cave, the front side of Escape.
Oh yeah, that too.
Is there anything else we haven't seen? Zora, I believe, is in Logic now because we have the gloves.
Yeah. Makinx doesn't have the 500 rupees yet, but we'll be able to get it soon enough. So, I don't know. Actually, KillerApp has the Moon Pearl right now, so KillerApp could just fake Flipper to Zora, check even the Waterfall Cave. And,
Yeah, I think that would be
yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be a really good move for him. The Moon Pearl does let you do a glitch where you can enter the waterfall cave and exit it and then come back in, and you'll be walking. Normally, if you do that without the Moon Pearl, you'll just be swimming the entire time, and you can't pick up the chest that way. Well, Makinx, making your play, heading into Eastern Palace.
Yeah. KillerApp might be doing some sequence breaking here to get one item that's legitimate. Makinx is going to be doing some fully in the logic chests here.
It does look like Makinx, or not Makinx, KillerApp is going to be doing that sequence break we talked about. Always interesting, depending on the severity of the sequence break, because knowing it's not in a logic, but finding something that can push you somewhere further down it can put you in a bad path and make you skip some locations that have some key items. But can also pay off really well, so it's always interesting to see. Just $300 on the Lake Ledge.
Yeah, I doubt these players are going to be getting it. And we find the mirror here in the eastern side of Eastern Palace. So that's cool.
That is cool. That another sequence break, but it does let us get up to Spectacle Rock on top of it. We can enter Hera as well.
And KillerApp gets rewarded for his transgressions with a bug net.
Wow. Bug net always required every seed, no matter what. Why is it required? No. It's not. No, don't ask. Just it's required. Alright, well, I believe that was the last in-logic chest for Makinx, but they will probably doing the sequence break to this last chest all the way on the right side.
Yeah. Now I'm starting to wonder if we're going to be seeing maybe the lamp in the front side of Escape instead of the hammer.
Yeah, lamp would also put this on the logic to go up to Death Mountain. It's got to be somewhere. And lamp's one of those items that can be hidden behind some really, really mean item chains as well, so finding it really easily would be nice. Ooh.
Didn't see what was on the ledge there.
It was a big key.
Interesting. Makinx about to be seeing this sequence broken chest. And it's a part container. And all Zora has for us is the ability to carry more arrows.
Not the most useful ability for $500, so.
Yeah, it'd probably be more helpful if I actually had a bow. I'm just picking up these arrows. I don't know why.
Well, you can throw them. You can like use them as daggers, stab them.
Makinx was heading into the castle, the front side of the castle, but I believe remembered that he can check the backside.
It does look like what he was. He realized there. KillerApp is coming over here to Eastern Palace again, though.
Yeah, at least the second return we can take the easier route there. So that's good.
That is good. It's a nice scenic route. Not much to bother you along the way, except this guard, who's guarding this place for some reason.
Now, I'm wondering if Makinx is going to decide to go... Do it! No! Do it! Do it! Oh my goodness. I just want
Wow.
to see what's in that chest.
I understand, because with no sword, trying to hit that rat with the boomerang and then a bomb in the dark is kind of a pain if you're going to
What
go
boomerang?
further. The red
You haven't
boomerang.
KSMR yet.
I guess. I mean, I guess. Do the rats die in one strike that?
Yeah, it's fighter sword damage.
Okay.
The ropes take 2 hits. Oh, Makinx is doing Houlihan strats. Looks like we're going to be seeing Zora on his end as well. I'm wondering if he's going to bother doing fake flipper there. You know, and hit the waterfall cave and everything.
I
or
think
if we're going to be seeing just Zora.
yeah, it's so hard to call, because the fake flipper does take a little bit more time to set up, I believe, but when you can make your routing more efficient, I think that's probably your best bet.
Yeah, so we're not doing that right now. We got money for some reason, but we're going into the castle now. Maybe Makinx just had a change of heart.
Yeah, I mean, well, you might use that money anyway, so it's never a bad idea to pick it up. Because, I mean, you do have to pay Kiki, you have to pay for the dig game, you have to pay for Zora and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if, I don't know, we get railroaded into Palace of Darkness pretty quickly.
Ooh, crushing that guard with the block. How violent, Makinx, getting the single arrow for his efforts.
A fitting reward.
Yeah.
I love these Kane strats.
Kane is the best weapon, especially against blind.
Yeah. Red Cane Blind is a ton of fun. I'm wondering if Makinx is going to decide to set up a death warp to get to the sewers chest. But I assume, considering he didn't do it before, they might not do it now.
Ooh.
Oh, we get our first bottle here in the front side of Escape.
Yep, I believe it was empty, so not the best bottle you can get, but definitely a bottle that will let you check Sick Kid.
Yep, looks like KillerApp's making that play as well. While it looks like Makinx is ahead, KillerApp did actually do Zora and all of that.
I don't think they'll set up a death warp simply because they have the mirror at this point, so no real point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized that.
That's interesting.
Big key to Desert Palace, which we can't get into quite yet.
So we're down to like 2 locations available to us.
Yeah, we have Agnes Cave and
Sick it.
yeah. Very out of the way spots. Makinx going for Sick Kid. You saw earlier they wanted to check him really, really badly, so maybe this will pay off.
So we're going to be seeing Sick Kid first. Maybe Makinx is thinking, you know, if it's not Sick Kid, maybe he can just sequence break up into the mountain.
Maybe, though I think if you've got your progression unlocked down to where it's an Agnes Cave, I think that's perfectly fine and probably recommended to go there.
Maybe. Oh, no, we got a very destructive kid today.
Very, very powerful hammer. So that little whim walking in there without the bottle earlier on his route, probably he sensed it. He sensed the power that Sick Kid had. That is our Dark World access as well. Makinx trying to make good use of it right now.
We also have sequence broken access to East Death Mountain as well.
that's a sequence break that's really hard to not justify if you're going to be going up to Death Mountain, because there are so many items that you're putting yourself at a disadvantage not checking that when you're going to check it anyway, almost 100% of the time. Like, can you think of a seed you've watched or raced where you haven't checked Death Mountain, Ruble?
No.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, you got our first sword here in Hype Cave. A big key to Palace of Darkness. That's reasonably hype.
Yeah, I give that a 6 out of 10. Sword, first sword, so it's got to get some extra points for that.
Probably going to be checking the bomb shop. No, never mind. So Makinx could have checked the bomb shop there to get the red crystals, like the knowledge of which crystals are the red crystals.
Yeah, I think that's pretty important to do in Keysanity, simply because it helps your plan better later on. But
Turtle Rock Big Key from Stump Kid. That's useful. Oh, you might already know.
do we? Oh, okay. Maybe our okay. All right, never mind. We got maps to those places. We don't need your stupid information, ball vendor.
Well, yeah, but Makinx had no way of knowing. Anyway, we get a book for our efforts in this Haunted Grove cave.
Okay,
So, yeah.
well, there is our desert access. No way to complete it quite yet, but
we can clear it. Well, not clear it. We can get the big chest, I guess.
yeah,
There's still 2 chests on the right side that are locked.
We can sequence break those, but that's pretty risky in Keysanity, in my opinion.
I agree. Hera Small Key is really nice. We still need a fire source to make it useful, though.
Yep, unless you're going to do the room down there for fun.
I'm a bit surprised these runners are opting to go to Hype Cave first when they got their Dark World access in Kakariko.
It actually doesn't surprise me that much, and I'll tell you why. When you go to the Dark World and you've got just the hammer, no sword and such like that, with this really low percent gear, I think it's a really good idea to do the south route first, because one, it can get you some safeties, and two, after you do the Village of Outcasts, you can route in the graveyard area, which is really hard to do normally. So I like it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So Makinx is going to be heading into probably Skullwoods, which is, yeah. I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea of going to Hype Cave first.
Yeah, and while we're up here, we might get a pet check.
Maybe. I mean, we'll have to come from the Dark World to get it, but
yeah.
Yep, looks like we're going directly into Skullwoods.
In certain version of the logic, this became the standard play, and everybody's done it since. Even in Keysanity.
Big Key of Misery Mire is nice. We don't yet know. Oh, we don't yet know if that's required. Mire is a pendant. It's our green pendant. We do find this small key for desert, so we have everything we need for desert except for a fire source.
That's looking really tempting. Right after this Dark World area.
We have to see the Party Gibdo room here, unfortunately, on Makinx's side. Or fortunately, depending on, I don't know, your thoughts on Party Gibdos.
Well, of all the rooms with Gibdos, I think this one's probably my favorite. Ooh, silver arrows in Skullwoods.
Yeah, that's definitely useful. We do not have the big key yet for Skull Woods. Makinx will still be checking the one chest here in the backside of Skull Woods.
And this one will be pretty easy, thankfully, because we found that canister Mario so early. Won't have to fight anybody.
Yep, and we also have the mirror, so we can get out pretty painlessly.
Well, there better be something really good in this chest, since we have, like, everything for it.
I think Makinx just forgot he had a sword.
Nope, just an arrow upgrade. I mean, for some Keysanity seeds, getting a sword, like, at 20 minutes is pretty fast. I could see that being the case.
Yep. So we're going to be seeing the pedestal. So get your pedestal hype in chat. I think it's going to be 10 arrows.
Couch cash.
Oh, it's a compass.
Oh boy. Well, no agate, no ped. Yeah, I don't think that was intended to be a spoiler. I think that's just the case like 99% of the time with pedestal.
Yeah. You'd think that in Keysanity it would be a bit more prevalent. And it probably is, but I haven't seen a pedestal seed in a bit.
Yeah. I haven't had the pleasure of one in quite a while as well. Certainly not in Keysanity. Had a few agates required, but not pedestal. And KillerApp did come up here to Death Mountain with the smear.
So we're going to be seeing the bumper cave ledge. We do not have the ability to get it, but knowledge is knowledge, and the knowledge that of knowing we don't have to come back here is worth more than those 20 rupees.
Oh, indefinitely. Makinx, rupee total, looking a little demonic, but we're coming over here to the graveyard to do something not as demonic. We're just checking locations.
Yeah, we get a small key to Dark Palace on top of that ledge there. We do have the book, and the killer app remembers it.
Yep. Won't be able to get this, but we can check it, which is just as good.
It's a shield.
Okay, well, that's our second shield thus far. We did find one inside of Spectacle Rock.
Alright, so Killer App gonna be heading... Killer App also seems to forget he has a sword. But we do find the ice rod here.
Yeah, that's a nice rod.
It's pretty nice. Missed what Makinx got in the cave here, unfortunately.
Yeah, as did I. That ice rod actually does have some practical use if Killer App does go to the desert area, because the ice rod will do fire rod damage to Lamolas.
Yeah, but we still need a fire source to get there.
Yeah, the ice rod can't quite do that. We did find a shovel though.
Okay. So Killer App still gonna be sequence breaking East Death Mountain here. Not a bad plan if you're already in the area. Gonna check what's on the island here. Got a bottle. It's got blue goo, so it's nice, but I don't think either of these runners are gonna be grabbing it.
Yeah, I think you would only be grabbing that if you're coming from Turtle Rock to go to Gen's Tower and you feel really, really unconfident with your equipment.
Makinx is going to be checking out Village of Outcasts here, starting with the Sea House.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a really important small key, especially in this seed.
Yeah, that's pretty much the big key of Swamp. The big key in Swamp only unlocks one item location. This one unlocks a whole lot more.
Yeah. Makinx is going to be showing us the first 4 items here in Thieves Town. I don't believe we have the big key. I think we just found something for Skullwoods. Not entirely sure what, but it's...
Small key.
It's not important.
Nope. Blue mail could be important, though. It's really nice safety to find.
So let's see what's in Paradox Cave and the last two items here in the front side of Thieves Town. Small key to Ganon's Tower isn't that great.
No, I mean, you do need a few, I guess, but there's so many. And it doesn't have any immediate impact. Ooh.
Our second male upgrade is in Paradox Cave.
Not that you would tell by looking.
Ooh, Mitts! Mitts in East Death Mountain is actually really nice. It'd be nicer if we had the hook shot, but it will allow us to at least check what's needed to enter Turtle Rock as well as Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, it's a really good item, especially if you're going to head back to the Village Rockhouse area because it makes the trip into Dark World so much faster.
Yeah, and we also have Mirror in hand, so we can do the dwarf, saving the dwarf, purple chest stuff really easy.
Yep. Always nice to not have to save and quit with those guys.
So with the Mitts in Sequence Broken East Death Mountain, I'm starting to feel like Palace of Darkness has to have something. You know what, with Thieves Town being pretty much just nothing.
Yep. Somewhere on the east side of Dark World is what I was gonna say. Either the pyramid or the catfish or Palace of Darkness, like you mentioned. Could be the lamp, could be the flute, who knows.
Yeah, KillerApp. I guess it's pretty much impossible to get through Spike Cave at this point.
Yeah, I think that's a safe assumption. The 4 hearts. I'd missed what Turtle Rock and Dying was because I was trying to be funny.
KillerApp is forgetting something, unless he's just gonna grab the... I guess we're just gonna grab the potion.
Nope, no we're not, because we don't have bombs. We're done here.
Okay, okay. Did not see what was on Bombo's tablet. On Makinx's side.
Yeah, I missed that as well, unfortunately.
Ether tablet was nothing but a shield upgrade, which I doubt either of these runners are gonna grab if they don't have to.
Most likely not.
Another Palace of Darkness small key. It's starting to look like Palace of Darkness.
It's certainly starting to look like Palace of Darkness.
And KillerApp is gonna be heading into, this west side of the Dark World. I don't think KillerApp has even gone into Skull Woods yet. Whereas Makinx is deciding to go into Desert. Do have another small key on the ledge there.
Oh, Bombos was half magic apparently, so that's really good. I definitely pick that up when I'm in the area again. And Desert does make a lot of sense. We could find our fire source in here even. Though it probably won't be the lamp unless the flute's somewhere, because I believe this was a sequence broken mirror. Or no, it was an Easter.
No.
Never mind. Getting confused.
Yeah, this is all above board. All right, Desert Palace really paying off. Big 20.
Big 20.
We do have the small key, so we can see what's on this side. A lot of runners nowadays, if they come into Desert Palace with the small key, will often check this first. Oh, there's the bow, even further pointing towards Palace of Darkness.
Palace of Darkness. Definitely looking like the play right now.
We have the big key for Palace of Darkness, and I think we have 4 small keys for Palace of Darkness. We have the bow and the hammer, so we can full clear it right now. Assuming these runners can do the hammer jump, but I think they can.
Most likely.
Also got Quake there as well. his bow.
Apparently Turtle Rock was Ether, so we have the 2 medallions that don't do anything for us immediately.
Alright, so Desert Palace has a lot of value so far. Let's see what this small key outside is. Might be another Palace of Darkness small key,
Yeah,
which would actually be pretty good if it was, because it would make traversing the dungeon really easy.
Yeah, it's probably a Palace of Darkness small game, let's get real.
Yes! Alright, I think I know where Makinx is going now.
Yeah, I'm feeling you, man.
We have the... Okay. Looks like we're taking this route instead. Actually, I think this is good because Makinx might be able to check Pyramid and Catfish beforehand.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure if it's faster to do this portal or the one by Eastern Palace if you're just planning to go to pod.
It's probably faster to do this one if you want to check those 2 locations outside of pod, but if you want to just go into pod, it's probably faster just to walk to the portal south of it.
Yeah.
Makinx is opting to go at least to the pyramid first. I will be grossly disappointed if he decides to head in, or if he decides to head into Palace of Darkness before going to Catfish, however.
KillerApp did pick up their second male upgrade, going Super Saiyan.
So let's see, what's on the pyramid today? Just some money.
Big one. Get used to that site, we're going to be seeing a lot of it.
Yeah, there's still, what, like 24 big 20s in the game?
There's a lot of big 20s. I haven't been keeping count.
Makinx is making me proud here. Going to Catfish, not, you know, not ignoring everybody's favorite fish.
Yeah. What if this is Lamp? That'd be really good.
Would be good. Palace of Darkness technically needs it, but I don't think anybody in this tournament actually needs it to navigate Palace of Darkness. At least not anybody that's 3-1.
Yeah, most likely not. Palace of Darkness Star Rooms aren't that bad. The mazes can be navigated with if you have like an image of the mage next to you really easily. The turtle room's the real problem, in my opinion.
Ooh, a big key. It's the Tower of Hera big key, and that is potentially required?
Yep. Meanwhile, KillerApp finding a small key to Turtle Rock in the Peg Cave.
Even if it's not required, even if like Tower of Hera is a pendant and not a crystal, that gives us 3 more locations to check.
Yeah, Tower of Hera is just one of those dungeons. It's really quick, really easy. Usually has value, in my experience, but it's hard to say.
I like this play, picking up Blue Potion from Makinx. We are still on Fighter Sword, so safeties are good.
Safeties are good, and if you're in the area, I always really like mirroring here and getting some extra ones.
KillerApp is going to be checking the dwarves here. We get another stick. So,
weird Australian curve stick. Somehow it comes back to you when you throw it. It's very magical.
KillerApp is gonna just walk the chest there. I think the reasoning behind this is because KillerApp also wants to check Bombo's tablet.
Yeah, I think that's most likely the case. And if they do check Bombos, this also puts them in a nice spot to head into desert themselves.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, they have that shovel as well, so... see if that's important. Oh boy.
The answer is a definite maybe.
Definite maybe. Never gonna be sad about getting Magic Powder in this game. It's a really nice safety item. It keeps you in full health in a lot of dungeons that are really tough. And it does open up the bat now. We have the bat. We can get a bat.
So we're going to be seeing our first item here in Palace of Darkness. KillerApp is just retracing Makinx's steps right now. Though again, if you're tuning in, KillerApp has checked a bit more in terms of the overworld. Wow. That Skullwoods key is pretty much completely useless.
Yeah. The one use that small key has is if you go up, check the chest with the Gibdo, then you can go straight right instead of having to go to the party room. But other than that,
Yep. As you said, KillerApp is going into desert.
yeah, it worked out really nice for them.
Still doesn't have a fire source, won't be getting one in deserts, but will be able to get the same items Makinx has already gotten.
Yeah, the most important of which is, of course, the bow.
And it looks like, even though Makinx has... I guess we have 4 Palace of Darkness keys now. So I guess we're just going to be avoiding the central door. We do find the flute, though.
Yes, the flute. Alright, well, I guess that puts everything in Death Mountain in sequence now.
Yeah. We don't need a fire source. Only needed the bow, which was... desert. Right here.
Yep, right there.
Interestingly enough, Makinx is opting not to check the vanilla big chest, or big key chest. Instead, opting to go back into the backside of Palace of Darkness.
Maybe they don't feel comfortable doing Hear Me Up? It's hard to say. Maybe they just don't want to do the right side again to get back there? I'm not sure.
I guess that's true. I think you could probably limit it from, like, 1 visit to 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, for 3 visits to, like, 2.
Okay,
if
well,
you do that.
all that stuff in Death Mountain is now super in the logic. We just found the lamp right there. Really nice spot for it, thank you.
I see the lamp in that particular chest so many times.
Yeah, I know, right? It seems like that's a spot I've seen many, many times. It's not even appropriate. This is the Palace of Darkness. It shouldn't be here.
So Makinx is going to be doing the hammer jump here, I believe. And I believe we'll be able to check both the vanilla big key chest and get to the boss.
We do have the big case, so that's really nice.
Makinx having a bit of difficulty with the hammer jump.
Not utilizing those oh so important pause buffers to line yourself up. But if you get this first try, you look really cool, so...
Getting a little low on health.
Did pick up that potion.
There we go.
Ooh.
And the flipper's here. So that opens up Ice Palace once Makinx visits Death Mountain.
Oh boy. Can't wait to go to Ice Palace. And there's the compass telling you to go to Ice Palace.
Alright, So Makinx now just has to check a few chests here in the front side. And I'm not sure what's... Oh yeah, we still have to skip that first door.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering now, there's no way he can skip out on doing 3 trips without getting a key, right? Unless he wants to leave them there.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave that there. So it seems like we're gonna be going through this hallway one more time. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, which makes it especially confusing why he decided to skip that chest the first time.
Well, I mean, I don't think it matters because if you're going to hammer you up into the maze, you're gonna end your little trip in there. So it's not like you could come out and save yourself a trip that way.
So KillerApp is heading into Palace of Darkness as well. Same amount of keys, I'm fairly sure, so we'll probably be seeing... Oh, losing the monkey there, unfortunately. Same amount of keys, so we'll probably be seeing the same strats or something similar. Nothing but a piece of heart and a vanilla big key chest. A little disappointing.
Well, I mean, we did find the flute, the lamp, and the flippers here, so we can't be greedy.
I mean, it's Keysanity. Palace of Darkness has all the value. So Makinx is just heading towards the boss now, through the same thing, the same hallways we've been through 2 times now.
The things you have to do to save keys.
Keysanity, folks.
Real Mario Kart level routing. 3 laps and you're done. But this actually paid off really nicely. I don't think there could be like a kinder layout of items in Palace of Darkness. You got the lamp here, so this dark room up here is not going to be an issue for anybody.
Yeah, Makinx... I don't believe Makinx has done any of the fake flipper Zora stuff yet, so that'll be open to him.
That's a good point. It's a shame they checked Catfish right away, otherwise they could route that in with it, but Zora on its own doesn't take that long to check at all. You just flute date and drop in the whirlpool.
And Makinx still needs to visit the mountain. So KillerApp is basically just entering the dungeon while Makinx is about to finish it, but KillerApp has checked certain locations that Makinx still has on his plate.
It's always really hard to call who has the lead in that sort of situation. Yep, this room's so easy when you have the lamp.
Yeah. And it's a complete nightmare without it.
Yeah, no kidding. If you have the fire rod, it can be okay if you light the torch, but these turtles are pretty huggy. They're scared of the dark, they need you.
Alright, we have a fighter sword Helmosaur, but we also have something else in store for him.
Yep, those silver arrows. Make this very trivial, if you can actually land it. Shouldn't be a problem.
Yep. I think Makinx had enough arrows for it.
56, maybe.
So what is that? One more in the game? Arrow upgrade?
No, I don't know. I tried to put the arrow upgrades out of my mind just because they're so disappointing. So I've been counting, but needless to say, arrows probably won't be an issue for anybody.
No, I don't believe so. So Makinx needs to activate that flute, and we'll probably be heading directly to Death Mountain
Yeah,
afterwards.
there is so much stuff they can do up there.
So one thing that's open to us, which is kind of anxiety-inducing, is Swamp Palace. And the reason it's anxiety-inducing is there's a certain item we're lacking in the form of the hookshot.
Yeah, hookshot's of course required to get some of the chests and complete the dungeon, but that does not say that the logic can't make you go into Swamp Palace to check those chests anyway and make you come back. So you would like to be finding that hookshot up here on Death Mountain for sure. We know they won't, at least not in locations we've seen.
KillerApp's having some trouble with these beetles.
Yeah, these beetles are nothing but trouble.
Yep, Makinx, as predicted, is going directly to the mountain. We'll be rescuing the old man, made easier by the fact that we do have the lamp as well. We'll be heading up to Hera. We also have the big key for Hera, so Makinx will actually be able to see new things on the mountain that KillerApp still hasn't experienced.
Yeah, but we'll also be able to get the basement item now that we have the lamp, which you found in pod, so...
Yeah, so everybody get your hype emotes in chat once we get to, you know, the tile room. The hypest moment in every race.
Yep, it's always hype when one runner checks it and another skipped it or just couldn't check it, and it's something really good. Will that be the case here today? I don't know. I presume nothing.
Interestingly enough, we're still on fighter swords, so Makinx still won't be able to get that shield upgrade. I mean, it, you know, probably doesn't really care too much about it,
Oh
but
no, I'm sure they're devastated they can't pick that up right now.
yeah.
It is worth keeping in mind, though, that until we find an invincibility item, those shields can actually be important to the logic, because if there's something on Laser Bridge, the mirror shield is perfectly valid for that. Will that be required again today? I don't know. But I have seen it.
Cool. So, Makinx about to be treading new ground, regardless of which direction he goes. Grabs that nice rod here in the basement.
Alright, just gonna head upstairs for now.
I think that's a bit strange. You kind of want to do the basement regardless, just because you have no idea whether or not it's required.
Yeah, it's usually better just to get out of the way, but maybe they're, well... I was gonna say maybe they don't want to tip risk taking damage just in case of Trolldorm, but there's a bunch of hearts right before Trolldorm, so who knows?
So what would be big for Makinx here is if Tower of Hera contains the hookshot.
That would be ginormous.
Contains our last Balance of Darkness key. Looks like Makinx is also setting up a nice bomb jump. Looks like we got it.
That was very nice.
Alright, so a small key we don't need anymore. Some money we don't need anymore. And let's see what the big Trolldorm has.
It should be no problem with this hammer.
Oop, getting a little scary there. Almost fell.
Should be no problem with the salmon. There we go.
All right. It's gone. Killer App, meanwhile, is going to be making his way probably to Catfish. I don't think he's checked it yet.
Just getting 10 arrows for his trouble, putting him up to a nice 65.
Yeah, one more arrow upgrade in the game. Get hype, folks. Where is it going to be?
65 is the real safety zone. I mean, any less than that, you don't know what's going to happen, but 65, you feel pretty good.
Yeah. So Makinx is going into the basement. Oh, and checking this chest as well. Realize we didn't get our shovel yet. Alright, get your hype in chat. We got this tile room. It looks like Makinx is dropping some frames. I mean, it's the most important part of the run to capture, so hopefully the admins will verify it.
He just wants to make this as long and enjoyable as possible for you guys.
Killer App also buys a potion, which I agree with.
And we find the VLC cone in the Hera basement. Very interesting. I've never seen that before.
Killer App's going to be getting his big key. I forget to which dungeon it was, though.
I believe this is Desert Palace. Am I mistaken? No, I don't know. It is
Hera.
Hera. Yeah, okay.
Killer App's also going to be grabbing that big key that at least I've completely forgotten about it.
Oh, yeah, I did as well. Okay, well, we're back. I'm not sure what was in the basement. Keep us in suspense.
So Makinx is going to be grabbing the mitts pretty soon in Paradox Cave. I don't think there's anything else that's up here.
Well, there's another mail upgrade, which is nice, I guess.
Oh my!
Wow.
So that's a pretty important item there on the Zora ledge.
To say the least, that is the most required big key, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
So Makinx will have to go back to that at some point. Hopefully they still remember it's sitting there.
Well, I don't think Makinx has visited that area at all.
Oh, you might be right.
So I think we'll probably be seeing it sooner rather than later. Maybe not, though. The worst would be if Makinx gets all the crystals and then ends up you know, going into Ganon's tower, just hoping that the key is there and never just visiting Zora, because we know nothing else other than that key was at Zora. At least nothing required.
Nothing of value, anyway. It looks like KillerApp is coming over here to check Mr. Bat. Nearly forgot about him.
Yep, this is also new ground for us. This is from our shovel. The magic powder, that is.
Next shovel into another fetch quest item.
And it's just a piece of heart.
Well, the powder is, I guess, a nice consolation prize.
Yep. So Makinx opting to check Turtle Rock via this portal, knowing you can't actually get inside now. Probably just be checking Super Bunny Cave and then leaving.
Yeah. I guess if you're up there and you do have the medallion you can open, you can even go inside and check the first chest on the left, which doesn't take very long and can definitely be required, so... I believe he has at least one Turtle Rock small key. Could go a little deeper, but not much.
I believe that was Quake to open up Misery Mire. Not 100% sure.
Well, if it was, still missing half the puzzle. Do we need
Yeah,
the boots or the hook shot?
That is true. KillerApp also treading new ground here in the Mire area. We'll be seeing the checkerboard cave, but we've already seen desert. KillerApp is actually gonna finish Desert Palace first.
All right. I mean, it makes sense if you're in the area and you have the means to complete it. Might as well.
Yeah, we also have that ice rod, like you mentioned, but we also have silvers.
Yeah, we have silvers, we have hammer, we have ice rod. I'm not sure which strat KillerApp is fond of. Probably the silvers.
Yeah. The first Land Mola fight isn't too terrible. Silvers.
Ooh, Makinx is doing Spike Cave. This is not... I don't believe this is in logic, since we don't have Limits Beyond yet. But you just have the blue potion.
Yep. We'll be able to actually, yeah, just chug the potion and survive that way. Just a piece of heart. Now, while, you know, these locations aren't panning out for our runners, you know, some of them are out of the way and then just have nothing, it's still information that they have, that they know that there's nothing important there. The other runner doesn't know that there's, like, KillerApp doesn't know that there's nothing at Spike Cave. So KillerApp still might go to Spike Cave and wait, you know, end up wasting some time doing that.
Yeah, and it's really hard to skip those one-off locations when you're still looking for items because it could definitely have what you need, so...
So Makinx opting to... Wait a second. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just realized something from way back. Anyway, Makinx is opting to do this sewer chest, and I think it's probably just so he doesn't forget about it.
Most likely. Just a single green rupee. So you got your wish, but it was a little bit delayed, to say the least.
Yeah, and pretty underwhelming. So Makinx could do Ice Palace now. Makinx could also do the Zora stuff. Either of which is probably a good option.
Okay, Meyer makes a lot of sense, because they probably also want to complete Desert, at the moment, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. So KillerApp is heading back into Hera. Gonna be grabbing that whole lot of nothing in there. Still doesn't have a hookshot to do Hookshot Cave. I'm starting to feel like Hookshot might be in Swamp.
Oh no. Of all the places it could be. Oh, Ice is still on the table. I mean, Ice is, well... I don't know if I would go to Ice for Swamp, even if it's a double dip, but it's hard to say. It's really... I don't know.
So the logic in Ice Palace, most of the chests are locked behind either the hookshot or a small key. At least the chests on the right side of the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we have neither is kind of weird.
Yeah, that may dissuade Makinx, who hasn't really done a lot of sequence breaking so far, to actually go in there.
KillerApp giving us the full splendor of the tile room.
Of course, of course. Tries to set up the easy strat, but tile room won't have it.
Makinx running past another tile room, though that one you don't actually have to wait for, which is great.
Yeah.
So I guess to give a bit of an item recap, now that both of our runners are just doing things that the other one's already done, or rather an item wish list to complete the seed. We still need the hook shot somewhere. Like, that's always required unless you can hover, and it's 100% required if Skull Palace, well, Swamp Palace is a crystal. I don't believe we need the boots, and that is only if there's not like a Turtle Rock key in the library. We still need that fire rod for Turtle Rock. Skullwoods is a pendant, so yeah. So I believe that's it in terms of like, you know, items. In terms of keys, we're still missing a pendant. We have 2 unknown dungeons, one of which can be completed without a big key and the other one that needs it. So the Eastern Palace big key, if Eastern Palace is a crystal, you know, that's required. We already know where the Ganon's Tower big key is, but Makinx still needs to pick it up. Other than that, we still need the Thieves Town big key. I think that's it.
I believe we also need Ether to get into Turtle Rock, but other than that...
Okay, Ether for Turtle Rock, and we have 2 Turtle Rock small keys known, and we need at least 3 of them, depending on whether or not, you know, there's required items inside of Turtle Rock. Or inside, like, the vanilla big key chest or at Trinex.
Right. Okay, Makinx getting the bug net.
So that's one more item that Makinx doesn't need. So it looks like he's gonna be checking out the Zora area before going into Ice Palace. So Makinx is gonna be grabbing the Ganon's Tower big key here in short order.
That's really good. You don't want run one runner to you don't want one runner to miss that, and Makinx definitely won't. But where do you go after this for Makinx? You got not great choices.
I don't know. Swamp or Ice. Neither is a perfect choice, but
Well, KillerApp did decide to come to Ice Palace, so
yeah. So the thing about Swamp is, you know, the backside is locked behind the hookshot, but there's still a significant amount of chests on the front side of Swamp Palace. One of which is blocked by a big key, though.
there are quite a few chests in there, and it's one of those locations where it can definitely be required. You don't want it to be required, but it definitely can be. And if hookshot's in there, that would be the worst for somebody who doesn't want to actually go in there without the hookshot.
Makinx is going back into the mire area. I think...
Did they forget something?
I think Makinx might have forgotten that he doesn't have... Oh, maybe not. I'm not sure, because he doesn't have the ability to get into mire.
Well, I mean, you can get into one room, but it's gonna be a short trip.
So this is a bit of a mistake. We don't even know if we have to enter mire. KillerApp was having a bit of trouble with the Ice Palace bomb jump, but nailed it eventually.
Yeah, that one can be a little bit tricky with the fire rod, not the fire, the fighter sword. Because if you use the sword for positioning, it's actually 1 pixel difference than if you had the Master Sword or better.
Alright, so Makinx heading to Link's house will probably be going into Swamp Palace now. I don't think this is a bad play. In fact, I think this is a good play.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad at all. You don't really have a lot of great choices here, and if ice is a big waste of time, it's really feel bad. But swamp is a crystal, so there's a good chance that you're probably gonna be checking these chests no matter what. Seems really unlikely you'd be able to go mode this at this rate.
Yeah. The only problem with going in the swamp twice, I mean, you have to go in the swamp twice this way, unless the hookshot is in here. But the other problem is once you get into the left side of Swamp Palace, you need to do it twice.
Oh yes. Can hookshot your way across the gap there. Thought left side was bad. Well, here's left side without hookshot.
KillerApp, unfortunately, getting forced to do a annoying route through Ice Palace. I love it when I enter Ice Palace with a small key. Not having a small key can be a real pain. And KillerApp, I think KillerApp forgot that he didn't hit that button.
Yeah, and I guess this is another argument for going into Swamp first, just because Ice Palace can be a really painful dive with just no keys.
Alright, so we're going to be seeing what's here in the Nightmare chest. It is just a map of the Palace of Darkness.
Helpful.
Yeah, Makinx is going to be checking this second chest in Swamp and just getting some bombs. Or the ability to carry more bombs.
Oh, he's up to 70 arrows, so...
Oh, missed that. Can't believe it.
Yeah, I believe the last one was on Zora.
Alright.
KillerApp using another bomb jump in Ice Palace. This one not used nearly as much, I would say. Nails it.
Yeah, not bad. Now we'll see if it was worth it.
There are 3 chests over here, so maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, we're getting kind of close to, or we're getting kind of low on health on KillerApp's side, but it does have that potion, and also have powder, just in case.
And if he does opt to fight Cold Stare, there are some fairies.
Found the map of Ice Palace inside of Ice Palace.
Wow.
How useful.
Is this even randomized?
Fire
Rod.
And a small key to Castle Tower, that could actually be big too.
Huh.
So the Fire Rod in Swamp Palace just unlocks some more of Skull Woods. Well, I mean, it unlocks the ability to kill Mothula. Skull Woods is a pendant, but there's also a chest back there. Makinx, another positive thing about going into Swamp Palace without the hookshot is there's no potential to drown the key.
Yep. So that Castle Tower key, we still need the Master Sword or the Cape to get into Castle Tower, but who knows? Maybe that is in Skull Woods.
KillerApp, I mean, we don't have the big key for Ice Palace. Another reason Ice Palace is kind of sketchy to do right now. The game doesn't really expect you to beat this dungeon without the big key. But it looks like KillerApp's going for it. I mean, you don't really enter Ice Palace and not beat it.
I mean, if you're given the choice just to leave now or kill Cold Stare, I think you kill a Cold Stare.
Yeah. Too bad Half Magic is sitting comfortably inside a tablet.
Yep.
Makinx making the play here. The very tedious play, while KillerApp uses Bombos, which I think is a good strat.
Yeah, I don't think KillerApp has many other options to do for right now, but
Oh, that is true. You got a Fire Rod, but only on Makinx's side.
yeah, and this boss fight's not fun. Cold Stare with Hammer. It's not fun. It's not too bad, but it's not fun.
Thankfully, we have the red mail to reduce the Cold Stare Puff Hug potential. Makinx is making his second trip up into this room. If this is Hookshot, that'll be huge.
That'll be huge. That'll also be very mean.
Or it could be the Swamp House Big Key, and the big chest could be the Hookshot. Oh.
Bomb upgrade. Awesome.
Alright, so Makinx, where does he go from here? Does he finish Skull Woods?
Yeah, I think you just follow the item here in this situation.
Yeah, looks like that's what we're doing.
Arcane.
So Ice Palace was kind of, ugh.
Yeah. We got the Castle Tower Smoky. Maybe that's important. Maybe it's completely useless. It's hard to say.
Also a pendant, yeah. Jeez. KillerApp can't catch a break. Looks like Makinx might be checking. Oh, looks like Makinx is going to be checking like the dwarves and purple chest and such.
Yeah, I don't believe they did this the first time, so...
Hopefully Makinx also remembers that he has that shovel. KillerApp is making the play into Swamp Palace now.
Kono Tyrant asked, did we check pad yet? Yes, we did. It's just a compass.
So KillerApp is going to be grabbing a Fire Rod pretty soon, which is something I'm sure he would have wanted not too long ago, but where does KillerApp go after that? I guess just into Skull Woods or Castle Tower.
Yep. Can't actually get into Castle Tower quite yet, but Skullwood's definitely seeming like where he would go right after that.
Oh, that's right. We don't even have a cape. We're still in Fighter Sword.
Still in Fighter Sword. 1 hour, 20 minutes almost, and still in Fighter Sword. Think you're gonna get a better sword from these smiths? No, not today.
Well, they don't smith swords. They smith bread, such as the credits say.
Weird curved blue bread.
It's a croissant.
Crystal with some food coloring in it.
Yeah.
It's like 3 days old, but they have to give Link something. They have to give him something. Here you go, buddy. Goodbye.
I mean, it did only cost 10 rupees, although I don't really know, the rate of conversion in Hyrule.
Yeah, the Hyrule prices are kind of weird. I mean, you can buy hearts, you can buy bombs for 50.
Alright, so Makinx is probably heading into Skull Woods now. Gonna be treading some new ground for us, whereas KillerApp is still mired in swamp.
Mired in swamp. Yep, can't be swamped in mire quite yet. Still need smimes for that.
Yeah, still need a hook shot or boots. At this rate, I'm starting to think that we're getting Ganon's Tower boots, though.
Yeah, that seems... That definitely seems like something that would happen. But who knows? Maybe Malthiel's got some nice shoes, despite not having like legs to put them on.
I wonder, did both of our runners check pedestal, or was it just Makinx?
I believe it was just Makinx, but when the KillerApp goes to Skullwoods, if they haven't checked it, seem pretty likely they would while they're there.
It's an interesting... I think that's just muscle memory on Makinx's side. He had 2 keys already to complete this dungeon without even needing to kill that one Gibdo near the end, but decided to pick up another key just because.
Yeah, muscle memory. Quite powerful at times.
It's especially funny to watch players do Randomizer because certain room strats change entirely. And then they just try and do like the NMG strat. Ooh, some more blue goo. That's good.
That's good. Never sad to see a blue potion, really.
All right. So, what does Mothula have?
I'm gonna say Mothula has ether.
Ether. That could be interesting. I'm thinking hookshot.
Hookshot be really interesting as well.
It would also mean it's a literal forced double dip into Swamp Palace.
Oh, you love it, don't you? Could also be the Thieves' Town Big Key.
Could be. Probably opens up about as many items. We get Fighter Sword Mothula, but at least we have the hammer just in case we run out of magic.
Yeah, we do have the red note. They were kind enough to give us a blue potion at the start of the dungeon, so very family-friendly seed, I guess.
I mean, certain potions are made with alcohol, so I don't not too sure if
Wow.
these are family-friendly potions.
Oh, Mothula, despite me saying they don't have legs to wear them on, did drop the boots.
Okay, so that's... Huh. Do we know what was on the torch in desert? I don't remember.
I want to say it was nothing important. I'm pretty sure we saw it.
Okay. But we do have 2 more locations, 3 more actually, if we count the first chest in Hookshot Cave.
Oh, they're coming down here to the library, it looks like.
Yeah, probably a Turtle Rock key, maybe?
Most likely.
But that also gives us access to Misery Mire.
Misery Mire, the Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb. Oh, it's Misery Mire Smoky. Oh boy. My favorite.
Alright, so where are we going? We got some options. Honestly, if I were Makinx, I would be doing Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb first. Looks like that's what he's gonna be doing.
Yeah, I agree with you there. You don't want to dip into Misery Mire unless you know it's probably likely that you're going to have to, because it is a pendant.
I think the way this seed is shaking out, Misery Mire is gonna be required. Okay, that's, I believe, our 3rd key to Turtle Rock? Or is it our 4th?
I'm not sure. It might be our 2nd. I'm not sure. I think maybe we found 3 though.
Alright, so King's Tomb will have something. Not entirely sure what. Just some remains.
Some remains. Little not quite ashen part of his heart. So Makinx is pretty messed up. Alright, well, they're coming to the Mire area now.
Yep, this is the 2nd time we're trying to enter Mire. Just on Makinx's side.
And we have the means this time.
Yep, KillerApp is gonna be killing Mothula here in a bit, getting the boots, probably doing more or less the same thing. Might not check the library right away, but I don't think it's necessary to get that small key.
No, that will be our third Mire Smoky, which I think goes well beyond the suggested amount.
Suggested amount of Mire keys.
Yes.
So Makinx, we do have the big key for Mire. I'm a bit surprised Makinx didn't decide to go to the big chest first.
Yeah, maybe they're just resigned to checking everything anyway.
It looks like we're going to be doing that. Actually, I think that's not a bad idea, especially because now we can check the chest that's in the room directly to the west there as well. Big key of Skull Woods.
Oh boy.
So that opens one location.
One we hopefully don't have to check.
Alright, so we're doing the left side here of Mire. KillerApp takes out Mothiel with no trouble at all, honestly.
Okay, well done. We did find our third shield.
Hooray.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing some waiting here upstairs in Misery Mire.
If KillerApp did not check the pedestal, they're about to blind pull it. No, they're not. They don't have Misery Mire. What am I talking about? But they're gonna check it. Got ahead of myself.
Yep. So get your pedestal hype in chat again.
Yeah,
Yes.
if you want to know where the boss hides, there you go.
My favorite thing about this path to the Misery Mire Vanilla Big Key Chest is the fact that you're standing there for so long that the torches go out.
It's a really slow moving wall. Like Link's camped there for days. The torches just die out naturally.
Alright, so we're going to be checking this chest here. Probably heading to the big chest, and then to the two chests in the north.
It might even go to Vitreous.
I mean, we haven't found anything good here, have we?
Not quite yet. And that is
So,
the
yeah.
green pendant. Ooh.
Swamp? Oh. So we have two big keys in this dungeon that do nothing but give us one more location to check.
They do call it Misery Mire for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, that's our last rock key, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Now all we need is the round one with the lightning bolt on it.
I don't think that's a key.
Is it? It opens up a door.
I mean, it makes a head disappear.
It's one of those discussions like, are Pop-Tarts lasagna?
No?
No.
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. So
Anyway.
that one's a bit deep for me.
So we're gonna be heading to Vidi. We do have everything we need to take him down painlessly.
Yep. If we just had Fighter Sword and Hammer, this would be a really, really bad fight to take. But we do have the silver arrows, which makes this a piece of cake. 66 arrows.
Not enough.
Not enough. What if we had to fight Vitreous like 6 times in a row? It's gonna be bad.
That would be bad. I'm really glad Ganon's Tower doesn't have you refight all the bosses, only the first 3. Alright, so we're going to be seeing just what a chump Vitreous is when you have his kryptonite.
Not even worth talking about. So fast.
Okay, so
Oh no.
where do we go from here? I guess just turn in that green pendant.
Yeah, I think that's probably the hopeful option. Like, okay, please don't make me go back to Skullwoods or Swamp Palace. Please let this be the thing.
Oh my goodness, what if it is a vanilla hookshot?
Oh no. Oh,
Sahasrahla, save us!
please.
Save us from this seed.
he has the power to save us, or he has the power to damn us. Even deeper into the pits.
What? Like, is there anything else that we're forgetting?
Well, there is the first chest in Hookshot Cave. Small cave.
Wow.
Tower.
Hookshot Cave. Hookshot Cave is gonna have hookshot.
Oh my god. Well.
I guess Makinx is going into Skull Woods first. I think this is good play.
Yeah,
I
this
like
is
it.
the fastest one of all the things you can check. This is the fastest one.
I just really hope Makinx didn't forget about Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, that is a tricky one. Hookshot can be in that first chest if you have boots, so...
Oh, I've seen it there multiple times. Alright, so we're gonna be probably doing a bomb jump here. Makinx is pretty good at these bomb jumps, I gotta say.
They are. Ugh.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
So Makinx also hasn't done Ice Palace yet.
Oh no, they haven't.
At this point, Makinx might just be hoping that there's nothing in Ice Palace and just thinking, you know, I gotta assume that there's nothing in Ice Palace because I've been putting it off for so long, and I know my opponent will have gone there.
That seems like the case, because they look like they're heading into Swamp right now.
There's also the possibility Makinx just forgot Ice Palace exists, because I do that all the time.
I mean, I wish I could forget it exists. For how much fun that dungeon has brought me.
If this is a vanilla hookshot, I am gonna... I'm gonna laugh.
And Activoker does bring up a good point. No small keys, no hookshot. Logically, not a lot of chests in Ice Palace that it can be in.
Yeah, we brought that up earlier. I mean, there's still, you know, some chests, so a lot of runners will still do it regardless. But
all right, well,
having
here we
them
go.
do... Oh my goodness! If this is anything, it's gonna be GG for KillerApp, I think. Because
Yeah.
well, maybe not.
Well, he has been a few steps behind Makinx for most of the race, and that might just be the final nail in the coffin. We're gonna find out.
Yeah. I guess it really just comes down to whether or not Makinx ever decides to go into Ice Palace.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the bigger thing. Because Ice Palace would probably catch KillerApp right now, if not put him in the lead. It's really hard to say. Now watch, this is gonna be the Thieves Town big key. Or the Ice Palace big key.
The Ice Palace big key would be another major find. Oh,
Master Sword!
you know what that does?
Aghanim! We're going to Aghanim! At least this tower.
But you know what's special about that? Is KillerApp has a key, Makinx does not.
Yeah, that key is an Ice Palace. Oh my gosh.
We already know what's on the tablets. Makinx could grab half magic if he really wanted to, but I think Makinx is just remembering about the shovel at the moment. Getting the Master Sword, I mean, like, we know that's the only, like, avenue, right?
Yeah,
I
that's...
don't think we're forgetting anything, are we?
Yeah, aside from that the locations we mentioned already, this, you know... Ugh.
So, if the first chest has value in Castle Tower, Makinx is in good shape. If the second chest has value in Castle Tower, Makinx is in trouble until he gets to
Yes.
Ice Palace.
Yes, that is a very accurate assessment of the situation right now. This very, very weird, very trolley scenario we find ourselves in.
And Makinx gets a nice piece of heart. Whereas KillerApp is going directly into Swamp. Not a bad play. So KillerApp is going to be grabbing the Master Sword here. Maybe not. Oh, it looks like we are.
Yeah, very important Master Sword, it looks like.
It's rare you see the Master Sword actually, like, come into play like this.
Yeah, like as a form of progression.
It looks like that's where Makinx is going right now. You know, considering the fact that KillerApp has done a dungeon more than Makinx right now, like, KillerApp isn't that far behind.
No, not
And
really.
if Makinx... Oh, sorry.
Did KillerApp go back to Skullwoods and check that big chest?
I don't believe so,
Huh.
but...
He did, okay.
Alright, so we have silvers in hand, so we can get upstairs. Or we don't even have to go upstairs right now, we can just check one chest.
Oh boy.
Oh! Okay. So that's required. The Thieves Town Big Key is in Hyrule Castle Tower. Now, that doesn't mean Makinx is out of the woods just yet.
No, that second chest can definitely have something very important as well.
But that does open up, like... I don't even know how many... Like 4 chests in Thieves Town? Including the boss? Yeah, I think it's 4.
Yeah. If we have that small key to the big chest room.
Oh, but we don't. So it's just 3 chests.
Yeah. But it could be here. Could be here.
And now imagine if there's a required item in the big chest and the small
Mm.
key is somewhere else.
Boy. I can't believe we had to go into Mire just to get the big key to Swamp. To get the big key to Thieves. Yeah, you gotta go rescue him first, Makinx.
Alright, so KillerApp is also, you know, hot on the trail. The seed is laying out. Gonna be grabbing that Thieves Town big key, but we'll also be able to see what's upstairs. Unless KillerApp has a brain fart.
Hopefully not. I would like to know myself what's up there.
Oh, we are going upstairs. That's good.
Alrighty.
Thankfully, in Keysanity, you don't have to go very far into Agate Tower to get both items.
They are very close to each other.
Was that vanilla bombs in Thieves Town?
It might have been. I was looking at KillerApp's screen. It was just $50 in the second chest. So Makinx, pretty lucky, and Ice Palace completely worthless.
Interesting. It doesn't mean Makinx won't be going there, however.
Well, It depends on what we find here, I think. If they find something that puts them in any direction but Ice Palace, they will probably not go to Ice Palace at this point, I would feel. Because they've been putting that off for so long.
Well, we just need to wait and see. Rescue Blind, nothing but a big 20 there.
Alright, well, Blind, what do you have?
Blind has to have something, right? Unless it's literally the Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot Cave into Thieves Town Small Key into Hookshot.
Now that would be a play.
That would be... That would be something.
So yeah, while I think Makinx is ahead right now, I think the like Makinx is teetering on the brink of destruction here. Because the second he goes into Ice Palace, I think KillerApp is going to come ahead in a big way.
There's ether. There is ether.
Okay, that's good. That gets us into Turtle Rock.
Okay, that is exactly what Makinx needed to retain their lead, because if they go to Turtle Rock right now, they've still got it.
Yeah, might also be able to check that hookshot cave chest as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the number one thing you want to prioritize right now. And there they go. They're going for it.
Taking an interesting route up to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, this is not normally... Okay, maybe... maybe they want that shield. I don't know. Or
Maybe.
what was on the ether medallion? Was it a shield?
Yeah, it's a shield.
Okay.
Oh, right, we don't have a hookshot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What are you
the only
talking
way to get over there.
Yeah. What do you mean we don't have a hookshot? It's 1 hour, 42 minutes.
Yeah.
Just hover across the gap. I don't think you can actually do that, but
Makinx is getting bullied by these dead rocks, unfortunately.
well, that's
But
what they're good at.
Yeah. We are finally seeing the inside of Turtle Rock. A thing that not many people are likely to say.
I would love to see Makinx go to that one chest and hookshot cave before they come in here.
Yep. Getting your wish.
All right. Just on the off chance this is hookshot.
Well, Makinx was like definitely pondering going to this place earlier. Oh, yeah. Ganon's tower key is just
I got a whole set of those now, but still, it was worth it. I would say.
There's no situation in which these runners aren't just going straight upstairs, is there?
Nah, probably not. What is KillerApp grabbing the half magic before he heads to the rock?
Maybe. I think that's a good idea, especially if you only have Master Sword.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there.
But it is giving Makinx a bit of a lead. I don't know if getting half magic saves the time that it takes getting it.
I guess
Might
it
just be
depends.
for safety.
Yeah, I guess it depends on if you actually have trouble on Trinex with just normal magic and Master Sword.
Makinx also remembering the correct direction to use when you don't have the hookshot in this room.
Yeah. This is just one of those rare scenarios. Hookshot's not actually required for this room, but with how much you get to use, you might think otherwise.
Alright. So Turtle Rock has a lot of items, 12 to be particular. We've only seen one of them so far. I'm starting to think like hookshot has to be in here. Like, there's no reason that it's not in here. I mean, unless like the big key for Eastern is here.
We do have an invincibility item, or at least we know one's in the logic, so Laser Bridge could definitely have something really nice. Though it'd be quite mean to expect you to fight all the way through Ice Palace just to get the cane for Laser Bridge. Oh, KillerApp getting dead wrecked.
So notably, we have all the keys for Turtle Rock, so Makinx can actually check every chest in here along the way without, you know, worrying about running out of keys before Trinex.
Mm-hmm. Usually, if you only come in here with 3 keys, you'll skip the middle chest because, I don't know. Because you actually want to clear the dungeon. Because that's actual progress rather than checking locations, and finding the other Turok small key can be quite a while. Right, what do you have today? Compass of Misery Mire.
Yeah, the real meat is in the back of the dungeon.
And KillerApp is not far behind at all, so this race could come down to execution if it becomes a lot more linear from here. And chances are it probably will be. Mimic Cave is a big 20. It might actually be that hookshot. Maybe it is in that Ice Palace big chest.
That'd be pretty huge for Makinx. But let's not get there just yet. We still have 5 more chests to check in here.
Yeah, there's quite a few locations still here. It'd be really nice if we found the sword before Trinex. That would just make Makinx's fight completely free, I think. Alright, Laser Bridge. With no invincibility item. Making really good use of these skips. There's the hook shot! Alright. So, I believe that leaves, as far as items go, we need the Eastern Palace Big Key, and I believe that's it.
Yep.
And we got plenty of locations opened up by the hookshot where it could be. It could be in the hookshot cave, could be in swamp, could be in Fat Fairy.
Hopefully these runners actually just remember to check Hookshot Cave. Definitely seen some runners forget to check it and then leave Death Mountain.
That would be awful. Oh, interesting. Makinx switching heads. I assume they did that to stop the ice head from spitting out the path of ice, which can be very annoying. Has to be careful.
We do have a potion, I think?
I believe you're correct. I believe we found that in Skullwood, so that'll be very integral to this fight. Or not. Don't need it.
Dang, that's a pretty clutch kill. Still need to kill the main worm, but I think we're fine.
Yeah. Fortunately, that does not require any magic. Woo. Really well done by Makinx.
Yeah, a nice quick kill. Gonna see... Oh! Tempered Sword from Trinix.
Awesome.
A little late there, but...
Yeah. Still really good
appreciated.
for the Ganon fight, at least.
Alright. Makinx remembering that Hookshot Cave is a thing.
Thankfully. There's the cape.
Wow.
Yeah. Coming down here right away just to clear swamp. This is definitely the play you want to make.
I mean, we know it's like the only play left.
It's one of the few ones, yes. Aside from Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think KillerApp still has to do Spike Cave, so we might see that. That's not what KillerApp needs to be doing right now.
KillerApp will have a much easier time with this fight simply because of the half magic. You miss all day with that.
Alright, we're in our third dip of Swamp Palace. I don't know, was the first one required? I think so.
I'm
Maybe
trying to
not.
remember.
No, I don't believe
Yeah,
so.
the first one had Fire Rod.
Oh, right. So Fire Rod led to Boots, which led to...
The Swamp Big King.
Yeah, the Swamp Big Key, which led to the... Was it Thieves Town Big Key? Oh, no. What was in the big chest? Oh, Ether. No. Ether was on... Yeah, it was the Thieves Town Big Key in the big chest.
Leading to
Which led
Ether.
to Ether, which led to Turtle Rock, which led us back to Swamp Palace.
Oh boy.
So a required 3 dips into Swamp Palace, which is far from the maximum.
Far from maximum. Alright, well hopefully the well, I say hopefully, but I guess we still have Fat Fairy as well. The Eastern Palace Big King is what we want to see now.
Yeah. It's gotta be back here, hasn't it? And KillerApp is hot on Makinx's tail. Only 2 more items here in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Mushroom leading to the Big Key, but...
Oh, there it has to be, right?
There it is.
Okay, so 1 hour and 55 minutes. Makinx is in that go mode.
Yeah. One of the kinder go modes. I mean, that could have definitely been Ice Palace Big Key leading to Eastern Palace Big Key in the big chest. But not today. Triple Dip Swamp, probably the worst thing that's going to happen today. At least for these two runners.
Unfortunately for KillerApp, that just puts him squarely behind. Makinx is just going to go to Eastern Palace, clear it out, and go straight up to Ganon. Wagging him.
Yeah, it's all on Makinx's execution versus KillerApp's at this point.
Yeah, and they've both been pretty. They've been both pretty similar in terms of their execution so far. There's still the concept of Ganon Falls and Troll Dorms and what have you.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways in Ganon's Tower to actually lose time, but
maybe Makinx will actually grab the half magic. I doubt it.
Probably not. I think the most useful fight that would just be Trinex, and you already cleared that out. And he still has that blue potion as well for the Ganon fight, so probably not worried about that in the least. As we head into the East Palace.
You know you're playing a good seed when Eastern Palace is the last crystal. Especially if it's not Keysanity and it's like just open mode.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's like a mostly painless run. You're gonna check the big chest because why not? Really one step on upgrade.
Yeah. Could have been a sword. I mean,
Yeah,
gold sword at this point isn't that useful.
Yeah, the difference between tempered and the gold sword. Not that important as compared to Master Sword and Tempered Sword.
Yep. KillerApp is finishing off Argus. Also going to be heading off into Eastern Palace, also in go mode. We have a big key for Ganon's Tower. We have a small key for Ganon's Tower. We have nothing else we need.
Oh, maybe Makinx doesn't actually know if this is, Didn't they get a map to Eastern Palace?
Might not have checked it.
Maybe. But they're going to be very happy that this is the final crystal. And that putting off the Ice Palace forever was actually the right play this time. Seems like every seed I do, where I do that, it's never the right play, but I'm happy for Makinx.
Yeah. I believe the Ice Palace map was inside of Ice Palace.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
We haven't seen the Eastern one yet.
Well, huge sigh of relief. Now gonna make the climb, this very annoying climb to GT.
Getting a nice bit of hook speed off that staircase. It's not too useful because of the dead rocks that are jerks, but Makinx. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're opting to come to the Dark World down here instead of up on Turtle Rock. This is a little slower, but on the plus side, you don't have to deal with the dead rocks.
Yeah, it's especially slower if you've already opened the portal to Turtle Rock.
Well, that just shows you how annoying dead rocks are. That people would choose this even though it's slower, just to not have to deal with them.
I just like the block clip, honestly.
It is a fun clip.
Just gonna be charging through some Lionels and then just up the tower. Nothing else to it.
Probably won't even check the easy chest along the way. We got Tempered Sword, don't really need him. And KillerApp does get their final crystal as well.
Yeah, that's the thing about Keysanity. Like, the game control you and make you do all this weird stuff to get to Ganon's Tower, but oftentimes, if the game does that, getting upstairs in Ganon's Tower is a cinch.
Usually. I have seen a few seeds, commentated a few seeds, where we didn't actually have the Ganon's Tower big key before getting Ganon's Tower. And that's always cause for concern when you're a runner.
Yeah. I'm saying more that, like, if the seed is making you go left, right, and every which way to get all the crystals to get into Ganon's Tower, chances are the game's going to give you Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, probably.
In seeds where you need Ganon's Tower, or you need like the big key for Ganon's Tower to get upstairs, I've noticed a trend of more it being easier to get into Ganon's Tower, and like you can skip out on pendant dungeons and what have you.
Yeah. Makinx making really, really beautiful work of those two mimic rooms, just completely shutting the door on any nonsense. Just 2 quick pokes for each of them. Oh, these skeletons, really, really annoying.
Yeah, this is probably one of the worst rooms. Although I don't like this one either, mainly because of that one last lizard man.
He likes to go the way around, make things not easy for you. This room's okay.
KillerApp is entering Ganon's Tower as well, so a few minutes behind, but considering like KillerApp is all like completed Ice Palace entirely except for, you know, the big chest. You know, it's surprising that he's so close to Makinx right now. Makinx never even had to go into Ice Palace.
Makinx actually skipped the fairy, the anti-fairy, to restore their health. They're running a little bit low. I think they have a potion or two, but one death here and the lead switches.
That's true.
But getting that anti-fairy also puts the Land Mollusk off sync, so you can't get a quick kill on them with silver arrows as easily, if at all.
On the one hand, these runners probably think that the other is, you know, really close by. On the other hand, like, KillerApp knows, you know, he did Ice Palace to no avail, but honestly, I feel like he would have expected another runner to just do Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, and if I'm Makinx, I feel pretty good skipping Ice Palace, because that was a pretty tempting play at certain points, and you just completely avoided it when it was completely unnecessary.
And now we have Landmo 2 going down very quickly for Makinx.
Yeah, no trolling today.
So the opportunities for KillerApp to make up some time are kind of dwindling. Makinx's execution up so far up the tower, outside of a few hiccups in like the gauntlet area, it's been pretty top notch.
Yeah, it's been really, really tight. Pretty much the only thing that could get KillerApp back in the game at this point is some unfortunate falls. Ooh, such a good triple.
Oh baby, a triple. And only getting a single on the second time.
Well, this is gonna be free. I say that, and then there comes the blue balls.
Yeah, if that wasn't a blue ball, that would have been over. But it's 4 phases. Pretty easy Agate 2.
Not bad. We have Ganon coming up now.
Alright. So, Ganon, Tempered Sword Ganon, not really that big of a problem. If you put in a little practice, you can do them pretty quickly. It looks like Makinx is probably going to get a single cycle here in the first phase. Using Cape strats here in the Fire Bat phase.
Yep, just wants to get this fight over as quickly as possible.
It's a little scary, but we do have silver arrows, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he has a potion as well, so it shouldn't be any issues with magic, especially if it gets a torch glitch. And you don't really need a torch glitch for the silvers, but it's still nice to have that extra layer of safety. It's also the fastest way to get a torch lit.
Alright, we're entering the final phase of Ganon now. Ganon is taunting us with information we already know.
Yes, we did in fact get silver arrows in Skull Woods. Long time ago.
Yeah. Alright. And that is that. Ganon goes down on Makinx's side, while KillerApp is still in Agate 2, so only a few minutes separated these runners in the end.
Yeah, which is pretty surprising considering KillerApp did a really slow dungeon in Ice Palace that Makinx completely skipped, but Makinx does take the win.
Yep. Makinx has finished with an SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 8 seconds. And, yeah. Our restreamer is Donning Arc. Shoutouts to Donning Arc. Is saying, apologies for that seed.
Yeah. We will try and get Makinx in here with an interview. While we have a second, as you mentioned, our restreamer Donning Arc, shoutouts to them, as well as our tractor Jixon. They've been taking care of all the behind-the-scenes work while we've been talking. So thank you very much to them. Here we have KillerApp starting their Ganon fight.
Yep, another Tempered Sword Ganon. Pretty free, honestly.
Yep, Red Mail, you can just sort of YOLO this one. That's the kind of Ganon you want after this kind of seed. Just when you don't have to think about it, you just whack him.
Yep, we're getting into the final phase here shortly, once we're done smacking Ganon as he jumps around and teleports and such.
He does like his teleporting. Just delaying the inevitable, though.
It's time to bully him with some silver arrows. Gets a nice torch glitch. That was weird. KillerApp got hit by Ganon twice on the same side, it looked like. Anyway.
No, he returns the favor.
Yeah. So KillerApp also takes down the big blue pig. Raises the Tempered Sword in victory. And about to walk through the door. So GG to KillerApp. We'll see if he wants to come in as well. Makinx is actually in the waiting room, so we'll drag him in right now.
Alrighty. Here's both of them. GG to you both. Congrats, Makinx, on your win.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So how about that seed?
Here's both of them. GG to you both.
Yeah, wow.
Congrats, Makinx, on your win.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. What's that to say? This was a
so,
required triple dip of Swamp Palace.
How about
I think,
that seed?
unless I got it all wrong. But
You're
Yeah.
correct.
Yep.
that was awful. I didn't want to go in there the first time, and really didn't want to go in there the second time. But yeah.
Yeah, I had no
It
other
was-
choice at that point, so I had to triple dip because I cleared
Yeah.
everything else, I think.
Well, I never went into Ice Palace, so I thought the first chest in Ice Palace might have something. I don't know.
Yeah, I went into ice like before I even went into swamp because I think I had bombos, so I decided to go there because I could clear it besides the big key chest, and I wasn't sure if it was a crystal or a pendant. So
Right. Yeah. But I didn't have any keys for it, so I really was hesitant to go into Ice Palace there.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also no hook shot, so it was basically locked.
Yeah.
Ended up being the right choice. Definitely gave you a winning lead, I would say, being able to skip all that.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But yeah, there was a weird seed. You know, you have to go in for that one chest in Hyrule Castle to get the Thief's Town big key.
Yeah, so KillerApp actually had a Castle Tower key from Ice Palace, and we were kind of worried about that second chest, but it just turned out to be some rupees or something.
Yeah, I don't think it could have been anything anyway, because, well, it might have, because,
well, it could have been. I don't know. It could have had ether.
If nothing wasn't Thieves Town, or Thieves Town had a Castle Tower key, it could have been there.
Yeah, yeah. So I never found the Thieves Town small key, so I guess that's in Ice Palace somewhere.
No, I didn't find it either, so I guess in GT.
All right.
Nothing was in Ice Palace except for that Castle Tower key, which is
that's a bummer. That's why I really hate going in there. You know, it feels like such a waste of time when nothing's in there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have the mentality of dungeon diving for some reason. Just got more possible chests here. I better go in there. But
yeah, every other dungeon was required, so
yeah,
it wasn't a bad tactic.
Yeah, I tend to not think about the logic too. Sometimes it gets me in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. I try to not think about that too much either.
Yeah. Though you actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead, KillerApp.
I didn't say.
I was just gonna say, in this case, it probably gave you the victory, because if you would have gone into Ice Palace, you probably would have given KillerApp the edge you needed.
That's the only choice, logic choice, I made. Ice Palace, I had no keys, no hook shots, so it was basically locked by the logic at that point. So really didn't want to go in there.
Yeah, I think it would only been how many chests? 3 chests that have been.
I think just the first one, really. The first 2. I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, 3 chests. Yeah, the one in the bottom as well. Yeah.
The tea room. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was nothing in there. Of course, it was a pendant. Just my luck.
Also, that I had a feeling it was going to be a pendant because no keys.
Oh,
no keys
the
turned
map
up.
of Ice Palace was in there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Weird seed.
Weird is a good word, I would say. I would use the word mean as well. Just that.
Yeah, it's a little mean. Yeah, triple dip swamp is mean. There's no other word to describe it.
But this does bring you to 4-1, Makinx. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, pretty good. So one more chance to the bracket stage. That's going to be a tough one, though.
A lot of really good runners will be in that tiebreaker.
Yeah,
yourself included, of course.
A lot of good runners, and only one goes through. So that's going to be quite a race.
Yeah, including
yep.
like our previous champion.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, there's a lot of tough guys in there. It's going to be a massacre, basically. Kind of like that tie-break race for the fall tournament.
Yeah, it's just that this time it's only one person that's getting
Yeah,
out alive.
this is even worse. We'll see.
Cool. Do you guys have any other thoughts on the seed?
Not really. Just want to forget it.
Any
Yeah.
choice words that are family friendly?
Well,
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing comes to mind. Sorry.
Cool. So I guess just take this time to say if you liked what you saw from these runners, like their play, liked their interview and everything, toss them a follow. Toss our restreamer Donning Arc a follow, our tracker Jixon, and my co-commentator Male,
Whatever. I've heard it every which way, as I told you. But yes, thank you very much for commentating with me today, Ribble. It was a lot of fun, and it was a very interesting seed to do so with.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the work.
Let's see. Let's just plug some action on speed gaming. On Speed Gaming 1 in about 40 minutes, we have Faraimi versus Zelga Dissen. And there's a current race going on right now between Demon RHK versus Haha Cell on Speed Gaming 2. There's a bunch more races tonight, but I don't believe many of them have been scheduled. But the schedule, I believe, is available somewhere.
Yep, quite a few coming up. Someone in chat mentioning Faraime versus Zelga Desan. Got Act the Boker and Ebbe commentating that. Should be a really good race. That is a 4-0 race, so whoever wins that goes on to the bracket stages. You don't want to miss that. It's coming up in 40 minutes on Speed Gaming 1.
Cool. So I guess that's it for us.
Yeah, we're done.
I guess just going to be signing off now.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Do catch more, and have a good night.